We started doing low vision screening, and through them, we connected to Dr. Rees at Herman Eye Center. He connected us to the Lighthouse of Houston. So at one point, we did a major fundraiser for the Lighthouse, and so it was a 5-year commitment. Now we try to fill the gaps, is what the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation does. We just celebrated our 50th anniversary, which was 2 years ago. Ooh, okay. Those dedicated women that started the foundation really did teach us a lot. They could make money in their backyard. Getting to know young people has been a fun part. Now, we have Guide Dogs of Texas, the Blind Veterans Group, UT Health Low Vision Clinic,
the Houston Area Visually Impaired Network.
Right. Such a connected group.
Oh, God,
they know
yes.
everybody that needs any assistance and know right who to call. Our only common denominator is to support low vision and help people have a different life. And we don't know that. We only learn from y'all. So that's what our goal is to know you better and understand what needs are.
A green tinted screen and braille lettering pops up that turns into the white Lighthouse of Houston logo. The Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art pops up on screen. There's a flash, then clips of Jennifer's eye, her walking down the hall, and reading braille appear. A montage of clips from episodes of the podcast begins with Jennifer talking to our guests and smiling. It zooms in on the Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. I am your host, Jennifer Parrish, and today we have a really special episode for you guys. Our guest today is Karen Craig, a longtime member of the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation. We'll be discussing our years-long relationship with the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation. We're going to get to know Karen and the foundation's work within the blind and low vision community, as well as the motivations and the impact of the contributions that they've had on our mission. And then we'll also be discussing the importance of community and advocacy. All right, before we get started today, we're going to describe our set as we usually do for our blind and low vision viewers. We are sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us. We have a white brick background, blue lights, and a neon lighthouse sign. Karen, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation?
Well, I was a Delta Gamma at the University of Mississippi, and our service projects were always with visually impaired and low vision people. And I came to Houston 45 years ago and networked with my other friends that were Delta Gammas from all over the country, and they had just recently started the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation, which was specifically designed for us to give money in our local community. And so we had to have fundraisers for that.
Right.
So we used our Do Good Delta Gamma as a service opportunity.
Nice.
And it has been nice because it's provided us all a way to get to know each other and remain friends with
connected. Yeah.
Right. And volunteerism was really what most of us wanted to do as a service project because we had learned that in college or at home or at church. Right. And so it's been fun, and I really have enjoyed the friends, and I meet all ages. I have friends 40 years older than me, and I have friends 40 years younger.
Yeah.
And the one thing is Delta Gamma and all of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys connect with the girls still in college, I would assume?
Yes. We have a big group. We had 100+ girls from Gamma Sigma, which is the University of Houston group.
Go Cougs.
And every time we have a meeting, we call out every school, and we identified in the Gamma Sigmas, the young ones from college. We're all into the Coug stuff last weekend, so we had a big turnout from them.
Oh, I bet you did. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and your journey with the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation?
Well, I started out as just going to help, and then we started doing low vision screening, and so I learned by going to high schools and elementary schools, particularly, doing low vision screening. And through them, we connected to Dr. Rees at Herman Eye Center. And he connected us to the Lighthouse of Houston. So at one point, we did a major fundraiser for the Lighthouse. And so it was a 5-year commitment. And we had hundreds of Delta Gamma women and their husbands and boyfriends all involved in helping raise money. And it was a good focus, and it brought our community from Northwest Houston, Northeast, Southeast, all of us together.
Right.
And we weren't always coming to daytime meetings, so we had weekends of volunteerism.
Right. That's awesome.
So we got rubber ducks, if you ever remember hearing
The
about our
duck
rubber
race.
duck race.
Yes. I
And-
went to those when I was a little kid, and the choir sang it, the most recent ones.
Oh, wonderful.
Yay.
Well, the Lighthouse Choir is something else. I've heard you talk about it.
Thank you. Oh, yes, ma'am.
But we have, our focus has been to learn from all of our friends from the Lighthouse and student trips that we took students on individually. Because if you don't know somebody, you don't know how you can help them.
Exactly.
And that was part of our goal, was to understand and help. I mean, we did buy computers for individuals before computers were so plentiful.
Yeah.
We had a low
And they were
vis-
expensive, too.
Oh, yeah. We had a low vision fund, and we would go, we just spent $10,000 on computers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for very many people.
Oh,
But
no. Yeah.
now we try to fill the gaps,
Sure.
is what the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation does. And we don't have those big fundraisers like we once did, but we just celebrated our 50th anniversary, which was 2 years ago.
Ooh, congratulations.
And those dedicated women that started the foundation really did teach us a lot, because they knew how to do it in their backyard. They could make money in their backyard. Now you have to have a big deal.
Yeah.
So
True grassroots stuff, right?
right, exactly. But I have enjoyed it because of the people I've met, and I like the service project part of it.
Yeah, we love what you're doing too. Can you tell us your mission and vision of the Delta Gamma Foundation?
Well, the mission has evolved, and that's because of the Lighthouse of Houston. We committed ourselves to a 5-year project, and then we found another project for the Lighthouse, which was the Southwest Community Service Center, so to speak. And that mission taught us that there were other gaps in other organizations, and some of them are even located in this building, that we could aid and help as our money changed.
Sure.
And our goal and our future is really vision of what do we need to do. I mean, we have a group of women that want to volunteer. We have a group of women that want to raise money. We have a business side to the whole organization. But the young females that are moving to Houston for the first time and don't know anybody,
Yeah.
this is a great way to connect.
Yeah,
And-
excellent.
And our headquarters are far off, and this is a network that you didn't have to go to the University of Houston. We have friends from Colorado, California, North Texas, Lubbock from Texas Tech. And it's just really a wonderful community, because the do good comes out at all ages
Absolutely.
and from everywhere.
Yes, ma'am. That's awesome. Can you share some of your key initiatives and programs that the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation supports?
Well, as of this year, we've worked with the Beat Baseball, and
That's awesome.
I
I used
know.
to play ball too.
They're very, very good too, those
Yes,
guys
yes.
and girls.
Yes.
And Taping for the Blind, retina research, we usually give a little bit to them because they are doing a lot of pioneering work for
Yeah.
retina research. We have the U of H Good Neighbor Eye Center, or Eye Clinic, U of H Center for Sight Enhancement. The Herman Eye Center has changed its name to Robert Sizik Eye Clinic. iBug today, which is really a neat group.
Oh, are you guys involved with iBug? So
Yes.
y'all know Michael McCulloch.
Yes, and we have some great friends. I was visiting with you, who went on a student trip, which
Yes.
COVID kind of changed some things for what we could do.
Sure.
But the student trip was a big part of Delta Gamma for years.
You know, yeah. I in 1991 was selected to go on a ski trip to Winter Park, Colorado, and I, unbeknownst to me, met one of my lifelong friends on that trip. And we connected, like, his name is Daryl, and we reconnected 30 years later or 20 years later or whatever it was, and it was like, oh my God, I know you. Oh yeah, you were on that trip, and so it was cool. And then I also got to like ski with tandem with an instructor, and I had snow skied. I'm from Pennsylvania originally, as y'all probably already know, but I knew how to ski, and so I got to advance my skills and ski in like these beautiful, beautiful mountains. And I, can see a little bit. So I can just see like you could reach up and like touch the clouds. They were so pretty. So you guys afforded that opportunity for me. And I was so, so happy to go. So it was awesome.
Well, I went on a student trip to Nashville.
Oh, really?
And the music was so invigorating. We found out how many people had music skills on that trip.
Oh,
and
cool.
I really have to say that getting to know young people has been a fun part. Now, we have Guide Dogs of Texas, which is a real fun group that really attracts a lot of people when we have the guide dogs around.
Right.
And the Blind Veterans Group has been very successful in reaching out to a lot of new age groups for us because we didn't know that group, and they're very active. And UT Health Low Vision Clinic, which has lots of different names if you know it through Legacy and things like that.
Sure.
And Haven, which is here.
Yep, the Houston Area Visually Impaired Network.
Right, and I met with some of them recently, or actually it was probably July of last year, and such a connected group.
Oh,
And
God,
they know
yes.
everybody that needs any assistance and know who to call.
It's such a cool collaborative effort that they've put together with Haven. It's awesome.
Well, I'm very impressed with every group.
Yeah.
And the leadership is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And then you guys also put on, or assist us with the the beeping Easter egg hunt.
Yes.
And we love that. I was actually one of the Easter bunnies last year. So I love the little kids and the interaction and the excitement, and it's just, and I don't know, it blew my mind. Well, last year was the first time I'd ever been to one. I did not go as a child. And then we have a wine tasting event here at the Lighthouse that you all volunteered for as well.
Right. And y'all need to just tell us when to come.
Yeah.
We will help, and we will organize, or we'll put up tables or bring out
love it.
chairs. That's the kind of thing that we can pick up on and do physically to help.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't know where to go.
What drives the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation to support our mission and then the blind and low vision community in general?
Well, we're motivated to make money so we can help.
Right.
And that physical part that I was talking about is showing up and that's another part of our group. But the extension of 5,000 or 6,000 women in a Houston area that want to support low vision and blind activities is what we were really put on this earth for as a Delta Gamma. So just let us know what we can do. But that's our real goal and purpose when we started, was to make money so we could help. And then you start realizing this school needs this machine, or that place needs this help, and that's what we did. We used to not even build buildings. We just would support organizations that knew what they were doing, because we're volunteers. We don't always know.
Well, you guys do an amazing job. Like we benefit so much from you all, and we really, really, really appreciate what you all do. Why is it important to you to support these causes?
Well, we're all blessed in so many different ways. I would have to say personally, it's because I want to be involved and I want to think I can make a difference in somebody's life. But the truth is, this group of women, our only common denominator is to support low vision and help people have a different life. And we don't know that. We only learn from y'all. So that's what our goal is to know you better and understand what needs are. It's evolved over 50 years.
The Houston Delta Gamma Foundation has been supporting us through grants for over 20 years. A lot of the foundation goes to youth initiatives like youth camps. We have Parents' Night Out. And then we have events like the Beeping Easter Egg Hunt. Why do you think that it is important to fund and support initiatives and events and programs for youth?
Well, I think because these women had young children, and we always did help. We would have the Museum of Fine Arts come to the Lighthouse and work with people so they could produce art and have that creative side. But I would have to say it's just the women wanted to make a difference. And y'all were there, the Lighthouse was there, and that was a place we started with, other than Herman Eye Center. But schools would tell us what children needed. And so young people. But the student trips were fun. And I will have to say that was inspiring to everybody in all those years that we went.
Yeah. Where else did you guys go?
We went to Bandera. We've been to Austin, to the Capitol. We went to Nashville. I think one of the fun ones was to Washington, D.C. I don't know if you remember that one.
No.
But advocacy of us learning, but the experience to go to the Capitol was really fun.
Yeah.
And we went to Lyndon Johnson's farm or ranch out in Johnson City.
Oh, wow.
But the Parents' Night Out you referred to was one that one president of the foundation really enjoyed. And she wrote me a note and she said, I thought I had the best time, but I hope the parents had the best time.
Exactly.
Our goal was to let everybody have a little bit of space.
Yeah.
You know, the kids were here, we had dinner, they did art projects, and the parents got to go to the Dynamos game or the Astros game.
So do the parents go together as a group and have an activity, or do they just like drop their kids off and go have a date?
I think they went together.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think the parents got to know each other.
Oh, that camaraderie amongst parents is so important too. Because, my mom, back when she was raising me way back in the day, didn't have any help. Like there's no, hey, my kid's blind too. Let's talk. Like, how are we dealing with this drama? My parents were like just off the cuff trying to figure it out. So this is unbelievable that you guys have this, and very cool.
Well, we want to support activities that will be different.
Yeah.
I mean, evening events are hard for parents, I'm sure, to have the night off. And the Lighthouse was very supportive. They had people that knew what to do here, and that helped us be able to have the event.
Karen, do you have any funny stories that you've heard about throughout the years and about the impact of the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation?
Well, I do have to say that I was on the trip to Nashville, and it was very fun because one of the young men who came to the airport, we were all getting on an airplane to go to Nashville. He had never spent the night away from home. And his mother was very concerned about him going on this trip. Well, we comforted her, and we got on the plane, and we got to Nashville, and there was a big piano in the lobby of the Holiday Inn or the hotel we were staying in.
Yeah.
And he sat down and started playing the most beautiful music, and he had such great rapport with his friends that some of them he had never met before, but that 2.5-hour trip to Nashville.
Yeah, you bond.
He got together with some new people. So we had a little choir, and we had fun. And
how fun.
we went to, and also on the trip to Austin that I went on, I learned a lot about what you don't know.
Yeah.
And turning on a faucet in a hotel room somewhere you've never stayed before, that's a big deal to find how to turn the faucets on. So we all as adults learned a lot about what we needed to know and how to help.
Yeah.
Because support is what we're there for.
Exactly. How do community collaborations strengthen the mission and impact of the blind and low vision community?
Well, I think it's showing up, being present, listening and learning. And I will have to say that's what the Houston Delta Gammas have learned over the years is the foundation is the money-making part, but the women that come up individually are learning and sharing and finding out what we don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, it takes a village to make great things happen,
Doesn't
too.
it?
Yes,
It sure
ma'am.
does.
Absolutely. Why did you choose to join the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation? And why are advocacy and community involvement so important to you?
The common goal. For me, I moved to Houston. I didn't have an office. I was working all over town. And I went to an event. I met some people. They were fun and kind. I had never met them in college. They were all from different places. And I learned a lot. It was friends, common goal. Let's do this on Saturday. We're having this on Thursday night. And that just gave us an extension to be a part and join. So when we said we'd take on the duck race, we didn't know if it was just washing ducks or if it was calling people to get volunteers or if it was to find out if the city of Houston would let us put them in Buffalo Bayou. We didn't even know how deep the water was in Buffalo Bayou.
How deep is it? Do we know now?
It's about 5 feet deep, but somebody thought there were alligators in there. There was all kind of stories, We didn't want to put our one guy dumped his canoe over immediately. Of course, we found out it wasn't that deep. But we've had duck races where it rained for 4 days beforehand, and the water was going fast. We just had a lot of interesting things. But the fun was laughing and learning and having new friends and supporting each other.
Exactly. Any other fun memories you could share?
Well, I was tickled to hear that you and Thomas both had gone on the student trip.
Yes.
And
Thomas, too, yes.
Yeah,
he went to Disney. You forgot to say Disney.
I didn't say Disney
No,
World.
yeah. I was kind of jealous.
Well, if you call Disney World or you call Austin or you call the Capitol and say, I'm bringing a group of young people who are visually impaired and blind, they will roll out the red carpet.
Oh, yeah, they will. You get to go on the rides first.
Yes.
It's awesome. I went to Fiesta, Texas one time and got one of those little go in the back passes, and you go to the back, the front of the line or go through the back entrance. Woo,
It's
boy.
a great way to learn and see a new place.
It's so fun.
So you're right. The fun things have been the important things. And every Delta Gamma needs to have that experience so they can be more involved and want to commit to the Houston DG group.
Do you have any tips or advice to our listeners as far as getting involved in the lives of the blind or low vision community, whether that's supporting organizations like the Lighthouse of Houston, the Delta Gamma Foundation, or donating their time to help out? Any tips or advice in getting involved?
Well, I love the idea of a Easter egg hunt where the Easter eggs beep.
Yes,
I
cool.
like the idea of a baseball and playing a game and winning and hitting the baseball that beeps. Mm-hmm. The idea of getting involved and showing up and learn about these things is really what I would recommend. I mean, go outside your comfort zone, meet new people and encourage people. It doesn't take much to smile, but it sure is fun to laugh together.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about is meeting new people, and everybody should meet somebody new every day. But if you can, volunteering is wonderful.
Yeah.
Service is important
Absolutely.
to our lives, and learning for somebody that doesn't do it the same way you do the same thing every day.
We just do it a little different.
Well, that's wonderful. I've learned from everybody. Like I say, turning on the faucet was a big deal for me.
And hosting a podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you went out your comfort zone.
Yes.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. It's a work in progress, but I love doing this, and it's so enlightening to meet all these different people, and you guys especially, because you're helping us, thrive. So we really, really appreciate that.
Well, I'm impressed you're using your Braille.
Yeah. So pro tip for the audience, it's really hot in this room and my hands are sweating really bad. So I'm trying to read and we're just moving on down the road here. So anyways, but so we're about to wrap it up here. But Karen, thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your insights with us today. Your dedication to the Houston Delta Gamma Foundation and all this other stuff, and it's making such a lasting impact on the blind and low vision community. So thank you. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, we have a website, and I would just encourage you, if you want to volunteer, to go to the website. We have a volunteer form. But more importantly, we love for people to be a part of our organization, and you don't have to be a Delta Gamma to participate in any of our activities.
That's good to know, because I've wanted to volunteer for stuff, even though, my vision is limited. It'd be cool to just show up and, like I was doing my Easter Bunny gig and, that kind of stuff. I love stuff like that.
I'll make you aware.
Please do.
Yes.
If there's anything, I can't take square payments yet. I'm trying to figure that out, or just, things like that. But hey, I love this and I want to be involved too. So, and to our listeners, I bet you guys would probably love to be involved too. So Miss Karen is the place to go. Go to the Delta Gamma website. You want to
Houston Delta Gamma Foundation.org, and we really do encourage people to know more about us, and it's a great opportunity to be here today and share this information. And there's a lot of women in Houston that are Delta Gammas that would like to know and be involved, so we hope they learn more today too.
Absolutely. So that's HoustonDeltaGammaFoundation.org.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, perfect. All right, well, thank you again, Karen. And then to our listeners, we hope you found this episode both informative and motivating. Remember, you can find more episodes of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, your feedback and ideas and support and feedback and ideas for other episodes are always welcome. So we encourage you to send us that as well. Be sure to follow the Lighthouse of Houston on social media for updates. And until next time, stay empowered and continue to break barriers.